Amanda checked her phone for the 100th time that night, scrolling through memes and half-reading articles about celebrity gossip. As an 18-year-old pizza delivery driver, her nights often dragged on in a monotonous routine. The clock on the wall of the pizza place showed 11:45 p.m., almost closing time. She sighed and started wiping down the counter, eager to finish her shift and head home. Just then, the phone rang. Startled, Amanda answered, her voice steady and professional despite her weariness. "Hello, how can I help you?" A deep, gravelly voice responded. "I'd like to place an order for delivery. Large pepperoni, extra cheese. Address is 13 Ravenwood Lane." Amanda frowned. Ravenwood Lane? She had never heard of it. She quickly typed the address into her GPS. "It's pretty far out," she noted. "Are you sure?" "Yes," the voice insisted. "I'll give a good tip." Reluctantly, Amanda agreed. The potential tip persuaded her. She hung up, grabbed the freshly made pizza, and headed out into the cool night air. The streets were eerily quiet, and as Amanda drove further from town, the streetlights became fewer and farther between. Her GPS led her down a winding, narrow road surrounded by dense woods. The moonlight barely penetrated the canopy of leaves above, casting long shadows that seemed to dance in her headlights. As she approached Ravenwood Lane, her unease grew. The houses were sparse, old, and dilapidated. Finally, she spotted the number 13 on a rusty mailbox. The house itself was almost hidden by overgrown bushes and trees, its dark windows staring at her like empty eye sockets. She parked the car, took a deep breath, and walked to the door, pizza in hand. Amanda knocked. The door creaked open slightly, revealing a sliver of darkness inside. "Hello? Pizza delivery," she called out. No response. She knocked again, louder this time. The door swung open with a loud creak, revealing a dimly lit hallway. Hesitant but determined, Amanda stepped inside. Suddenly, a rough hand grabbed her from behind, covering her mouth. She tried to scream, but the sound was muffled. She struggled, kicking and writhing, but her assailant was too strong. He dragged her into the house and slammed the door shut. Amanda woke up in a dark, damp basement, her head throbbing. She was tied to a chair, her wrists and ankles bound tightly with rope. The air was cold and smelled of mold. She could hear faint, desperate whimpers nearby. As her eyes adjusted to the darkness, she saw other figures in the room, similarly bound. There were 4 of them, a middle-aged man, 2 young women, and a teenage boy. They all looked terrified. "Help," she whispered urgently. "We have to get out of here." The man shook his head. "He'll hear you. He's always listening." Footsteps echoed from above, growing louder. The door to the basement creaked open, and a tall, shadowy figure descended the stairs. He wore a mask, his eyes cold and emotionless. "Welcome, Amanda," he said in that same gravelly voice. "I've been expecting you." The masked man walked over to the young woman and roughly untied her, dragging her upstairs despite her feeble attempts to resist. The basement door slammed shut, and Amanda could hear the girl's muffled screams. Amanda's heart pounded. She knew she had to find a way out. Amanda glanced around the room, searching for anything that could help her escape. She noticed a loose nail on the floorboards near her feet. Carefully, she maneuvered her foot to pry it loose, using her shoe to pull it closer. After what felt like an eternity, she managed to get the nail in her hand and began sawing through the ropes. The man across from her watched, hope flickering in his eyes. "Be quick," he whispered. "He won't be gone long." Amanda nodded, working as fast as she could. Finally, the ropes fell away. She quickly freed the others, and they began searching for an exit. They found a small window high on the wall, just large enough for them to squeeze through. The teenage boy went first, then the middle-aged man. Amanda helped the young woman up, then hoisted herself through the window, landing in the dirt outside. They ran through the woods, branches scratching their faces and tearing at their clothes. Behind them, they could hear the masked man shouting, his footsteps crashing through the underbrush. "Faster," Amanda urged, her breath coming in ragged gasps. They burst into a clearing and saw the lights of a farmhouse in the distance. Hope surged through them as they sprinted towards it. Suddenly, the masked man appeared in front of them, blocking their path. "You're not going anywhere," he snarled. Amanda grabbed a large branch from the ground and swung it at him with all her strength. The man stumbled, and she saw her chance. She kicked him hard in the knee, causing him to fall. The others joined in, overpowering him just long enough to escape. They ran to the farmhouse, pounding on the door. A kindly old couple answered, and Amanda quickly explained their ordeal. The police were called, and the nightmare finally seemed to be over. Days later, Amanda tried to return to a normal life, but the events of that night haunted her. She couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Paranoia set in, and she found herself constantly looking over her shoulder. One evening, as she was getting ready for bed, she noticed a piece of paper slipped under her door. Her blood ran cold as she unfolded it. "Nice try, Amanda. See you soon." The masked man. She looked out her window, her heart pounding. In the distance, she thought she saw a figure standing in the shadows, watching her. The terror returned, stronger than ever. Amanda's story spread, a chilling reminder that sometimes the nightmares we escape have a way of finding us again. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe for more spine-chilling tales. Hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Stay safe, and remember, sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones watching from the shadows.